Hey guys, I'm Dave Goodyear. I'm here at the homestead of Flat Rock. Well, actually today we are up at the garlic field. So if you follow the garlic project, this is a carry-on now. It's been really asleep for about 4 to 5 months, and we're up at the field today to do, I guess, our pre-season inspection and cleanup and whatever else needs to be done. I'm hoping that in today's video we will actually cover things like, you know, how to better optimize our time, what successes we had, what failures we had, and we're going to have a look to see how the garlic did. That's all coming up next. So I'm going to bring up a picture now showing what the state of the field was back in, I think it was December when we mulched the field. It actually looked beautiful. We had it all held down with baler netting. It looked like it was going to be quite good. We had everything pinned down, but the wind is like absolutely crazy. So here we go. Here is fail number 1. Okay, so pretty much I would say 80% of the actual mulch has all blown off, and basically all of the netting let go. Some of it is torn, some of it has shifted, and like I said, 80% of the leaves are now gone. Now that means that some of our work is actually not going to be that hard, because generally garlic doesn't come up that well through matted maple leaves, so it was going to have to all come off anyway. So anyway, failure number 1 actually end up leading to less work for us now. But the question is, you know, how did the garlic fare with the fact that, you know, it wasn't mulched that well? I guess that's kind of one of the next things that we're going to have a look at. So a quick inspection of the field reveals that some of the areas where we had creoles planted actually are still mulched, which is good because apparently they don't handle cold temperatures quite as well. The hardnecks, I kind of expect that they're going to do okay regardless, but luckily that looks pretty good. Now, as a quick survey across the field, I can actually see garlic sprouting up everywhere. Now, it may be hard for you guys to see on the camera, but I'm going to get a close-up in a little while, and we're actually going to zoom in and have a look at all of these and see what varieties are up, and do a kind of a quick survey over everything before we actually start pulling this mulch. The plan here is that, you know, the mulch is such a high carbon material that it would actually provide pretty good weed suppression, you know, if we just lay it in the walkways. Interestingly enough, the wind has already done some of the work for us. In this walkway right here, we can see that there's already leaves and mulch blown into it. Let's do a quick walk through the field now, and we can see kind of, you know, what we think survived and what didn't. All right, so initial inspection of the field. Yeah, the mulch just didn't last. It pretty much all blew out of it. I don't know how long it's been gone. We had Basically a very funny winter. There was almost no snow cover, so it's not surprising. I was hoping that once the leaves went down and they got wet and they froze, then it would kind of form a matted mass. My guess is that they just kept drying out over the winter and the wind just got under and started pulling the netting, and basically it ripped everything out of it. So leaves, number one, we've realized leaves, pretty much a waste of time. The location here is too windy. So how do we get away from that? Well, I think that the lack of leaves means really, or the fact that we can't keep the leaves down is really means that we need some sort of a living mulch. We need something rooted in the ground that actually dies back over the winter. The plan moving forward is to at least experiment on part of the ground in the next field with a living mulch. We haven't decided exactly on what that's going to be yet. We're also going to try no mulch just to see what happens, because honestly this seemed to work out well. The only issue I can see with the no mulch is the fact that it may lead to issues with weed suppression, but you know, it's worth a try. We'll see how it goes, and maybe the weeds won't actually take hold as much as what we think. The only way to tell is to do the experiment, which will, I guess, come up this fall coming after we get the field up above taken care of. In the areas where we had bulbils planted, I don't see any bulbils up at all. Is that a fail? No, not yet. It's too early to say. I mean, they're pretty small, and you know, they're down about 3 to 4 inches, and they do need you know, quite a bit of energy to get up through. So we're still hopeful that you know, that the bulbils are going to come up through. They're just not where they need to be yet, but once that ground warms, likely they will. What else have we noticed? Very little frost heave, but there are a couple places where some garlic cloves literally are still rooted, but they came up out of the ground, which is really, really weird. So let's go over to the field and I'll show you one that I found that's kind of super funny, because it's literally a bulb sitting on top of the ground with roots in it. And this one's sitting right on top of the ground. It's growing and rooting. In all likelihood it was heaving up with the frost, or it was pulled out of the ground by something, is my guess. Some people may wonder why we took the mulch off. Leaves are pretty thick. The garlic comes up, but it tends to start to grow under the leaves and move horizontally, so it never ever really gets up through. It's not a great option for us right here, right now, given the fact that a lot of it did blow off over the winter. We are going to come up with a potentially better option later, but the garlic really didn't seem to suffer because of it. And in fact, you can see the field. There's some green in places, which is good. Most of the garlic is actually up. The bulbils are just kind of coming through now. The next part of the project is to start expanding to the upper field, which is up above, and that was cleared last year. But the only thing you're going to farm off of that right now is rocks. There's honestly just nothing but rocks. There's some organic matter that we left in there, but it's going to need to get cover cropped. So in the next few days, we're going to get back up here, start pulling rocks out of this, and start looking at getting a cover crop on it, hopefully mid-May, and we'll be on the same time schedule as last year for our cover crop. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Thanks for joining me. You know, like always, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. You can reach out and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FR_homestead, and on Facebook at the Homestead Flat Rock. We always got new videos coming out. Coming up, obviously there are going to be more. It's getting into summertime. The days are longer now. So thanks for joining me, and we'll see you guys again next time.